the most notable thing lately, now this is about as close as I can get. Well, there's two things. Last week, maybe it was a week and a half ago, Brother Dave and Bill went to purchase a car. A brand new Buick. All over the state. Couldn't find a brand new one for under $1,000 anywhere. 45 dealerships, Dave told me that hit the other day. We couldn't find one for under $1,000. I mean, this is how tight the guy is, you know. He's hunting a brand new car. You aren't going to sell the old ones he had, I'm sure of that, because he never gets rid of anything. Everything's, you know, everything is over there at the house. If you've ever got there, I'm all over 3 states, I believe it, and women too. But and he's got women in other countries too when he was overseas in the service. So we don't even want to talk about that. In Baker's terms, Bill, in Baker's terms, you know how many's in a dozen? Well, you only have 12. Just you're 12 short of 13, right? So, now I'd like to call Bill a moron here, but you know we're not here to pay him any compliments. We're here to cut him up. So I can't call him a moron because that would be too high. But I just want you people to know, out of those 27 hats that he wears, some of you aren't going to know what I'm talking about here, but some of you are. Out of those 27 hats and all the things that he does, the whole damn thing was run by steam.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you. You know, how many of you have actually seen Bill on the weekend after hours? You've seen him? He has distinct looks that he puts on when you see him different times of the day. A lot of the time he looks just like he does now, the look I was emulating at the very beginning, the mayor look. But he's got 2 other looks that I just think are as sweet as can be. One of them is called the cat burglar look. And that's what I'm trying to demonstrate right now. I don't have the black leather coat like he does, but the hat is the same. I really like the cat burglar look. I'll show you a couple more as we go on throughout the night. Now Bill, he's in his 6th term as mayor right now. 6th term. He's quite the politician. And you know, if you look at the elections throughout those years, as with so many elections that we have in modern times here, he was carried by the minority vote. The minority being people who thought he could actually do the job as mayor. But really, in all seriousness, in your office, Bill, we have somebody who we know we can rely on, somebody who is there for us every day. Thank goodness for Linda Thomas, your secretary. Thank goodness for Linda. She does a lot for us. Definitely. But, and you know, Bill, he does do the work of 3 men. He really does. Larry, Mo, and Curly. That's Bill for sure. All right, so our next guest, I want to get up here on the stage. You know, he's got a pretty distinguished list of items on his resume. School teacher, a fireman. You know what? I really can't lie to you folks anymore. I have no idea who this guy is. We just saw him wandering up by 522. We were short on roasters. He said he'd do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Crane.
Thank you. Yeah, I got into this thing a while back here. They wondered if I would help roast somebody. They didn't tell me right away who it was. They said he was 2 bricks short of a load and a few other nasty things. And I said, it's Bill Wagner. Yep, that's the guy. Well, here I am. Did you people ever hear of Harold's Super Service? I'm sure you all did. Well, this guy has a super service, but it's not Harold's. Now, if he'd have said Harold's, you guys would have known who he meant. Well, I have a few notes here. I'm sorry to say I don't have any good things to say. In fact, I thought I'd be late getting here tonight. Just about was. I got down here to the end of town and the police pulled me over. I said, what did I do? Well, I guess nothing yet. I said, well, then why you pull me over? Well, he said, the mayor's orders, you got to do what the mayor said. I said, well, okay, what do you want? Well, we're going to do a background check on you. So they did a background check. And after a few minutes, finally they let me through. And that was what our friendly mayor did for me tonight. But I wasn't late, I made it. Anyhow, I better tell you about Bill getting stopped with the police too. He was down here on his way to Mifflinburg, I guess it was, one night. He was driving himself for a change. And the cop pulled out behind him, put the flashing lights on, and Bill took off. The cop chased him quite a while, in and out of here and there, and finally in Mifflinburg, Bill ran into a dead-end alley and had to stop. And the police ran up to the car and said, well, what's going on here? Why are you trying to outrun us? Well, Bill didn't know what to say. He said, well, I'll tell you what. He said, when I saw them lights come on, it reminded me my girlfriend ran off with a policeman. He said, I thought you was chasing me trying to bring her back. That's our Bill. And they thought he was drinking too, but he wasn't. He said he always knows when he's had enough when somebody steps on his hand. Well, as you know, Bill's a little different. I'll give you an example. Bill went to Ireland with the Cash Crew band. I understand he had a lot of fun over there. But one day they had some free time. They decided to go downtown, look at all the sights, walk around, and Bill somehow got separated from the rest. I think he did it intentionally. I've heard this story from several people. And as they walked down the street, they looked at the store, and here comes Bill out of the store, and it was a ladies' lingerie store. So they naturally said, Bill, what are you in there buying? Bill said, I didn't buy nothing. They didn't have anything in my size. That's our buddy Bill. Not done yet.
I've seen pictures of that.
Well, I think it probably has a lot to do with his age. He's getting pretty old. And the funny thing is, nobody really knows how old he is. He tells us he's 80. But, you know, he can say anything. But we've heard stories that he's a lot older than that. This gentleman here knew him all his life. I've only known Bill about a year and a half. If I'd have known him longer, I'd have probably had a lot more dirt to talk about tonight. But I haven't known him a long time, and I asked some other people for some help, and they said, no, we can't help you because we think Bill belongs to this gang, and if we say anything about him, they're liable to come and get us. So I didn't get any help. So I had to do the best I could on the length of time I knew you, Bill. But I got more. Well, anyhow, you know, Bill does the musical jams at Middleburg, Mifflinburg, and he's done a few other towns too. And we thank him for that, only because we have to. I got witnesses for everything I say here. There's a lot of friends from the jams here tonight. And I got Jim Wetzel here. He'll swear to anything I say. Well, anyhow, one night somebody said, Bill, why don't you sing some newer songs instead of all this old stuff? And he said, well, I know a couple newer ones. So I'll tell you what he sang, Peg of My Heart and Rag Mob. That's newer to Bill. He can try to play the guitar now too. Not great, but he's learning. Probably another 50 years and he'll catch on. Anyhow, I did some research on your age, Bill, and I was talking to Karen, and Karen knew a little bit about your age. I'll tell you what she told me. She said you was trying to explain in detail to her in detail about how each apostle died. Is that true? Okay. Well, anyhow, she could not believe that you knew all that and knew it right down to the letter. So she asked you how you came to know all this, and you told her, well, you guys talked about it at the Lord's Last Supper. So you're over 80, right? We had an 80th birthday party for him down at the club and at the VFW. But was still supposed to be 80 years old, and I just don't believe that. And I think, Bill, you're just too old to cut the mustard anymore. No. Well, that's all I have, Bill, but if I'd have known you longer, I'd have had a lot more. But anyhow, that's our buddy Bill.